Today's video comes from the rather ominous looking slopes of Chopwell Wood. This is a small set of mostly natural trails in the north of England. Although small, this place is amazingly convenient to get to, being literally a 30-minute drive from Newcastle city centre. With Chopwell being so close, I couldn't resist the chance to give it a try. There are a few trails to explore here at Chopwell, but the main one is called Powerline, which is graded as a red. The trail is called Powerline because it follows the power lines. Makes sense, right? In total, the trail is around 1.5 kilometres downhill and takes around 6 minutes top to bottom. It has a few interesting features like jumps and drops, and it certainly cuts an interesting line. Now, I couldn't really find much about the trail online before I got here, so I have no idea what I'm going to come across. I'm going in with my eyes open, but I'm not expecting to find Whistler Bike Park standard trails here. From the car park, Powerline Trail is easy to find. Just follow the power lines. The first mini section is just a link road. It takes you to the start of the main trails. As you can see, today's conditions are a little sloppy. It has basically rained here every day for the last 3 weeks, and I'm afraid to say that winter is definitely on the way. After about 30 seconds you reach the road and you're ready to drop in. Okay, so this is the start of the main section. Let's see what it has to offer. I've never ridden this trail before, so I'm dropping in completely blind. It's always really exciting riding a new trail because you never know what's coming next. But of course, it's best to take it easy on your first run down. And also watch out for puddles. Oh, uphill straight away, that's not good. In the wrong gear for that. Here we go. The good thing about trails like this is that they've got an easy fire road back to the top, so you can session this trail as much as you like. Great for fitness, and also great for practicing certain features that you want to work on. This first section basically zigzags its way down the hill. There's clear evidence that the builders have tried to make the flatter sections a bit more interesting by adding a jump or a drop, but it's all a bit too mellow for my tastes. A few more rollers would have been really good to just help maintain your speed, as there were a couple of sections where I had to pedal in between. No big deal, but it just kind of messes up the flow of the trail a bit. A little drop. Hello. Where they've added these small features, it definitely made the trail more interesting, and again helps riders who are looking to progress their skills. But everything on this trail is completely rollable. Today I'm riding my Cube Stereo, which is definitely overkill for a trail like this. A hardtail is all you need. Oh, that's tight climbing. This next section of the trail turns into the woods. With all the recent rain, this section was a bit of a washout. The mud and wet leaves made it pretty tricky to navigate too. Rock garden. Oh, this bit is sloppy. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, it's so wet and boggy down here. And pretty dark as well. I wish I had my winter tyres on, that's for sure. I took this slope pretty tentatively. It was really sloppy, rutty, and really wet.
Hopefully it's a bit drier from here on out.
The last descent on the first part was really good. It's slightly steeper and faster, but you do need to watch your speed because there's a fence right at the bottom.
Awesome. Good first section.
At this point you're about 3/4 of the way down the Powerline Trail, but the best section is yet to come.
So there were a couple of little jumps that I managed to miss on that one. I wasn't expecting those. Let's hope there's a few more.
And it wasn't long before my wish came true.
Okay, dropping in. Ah, there we go, jumps. Oh, away, send that way deep.
I may have gotten a bit overzealous on that jump.
I pretty much landed to flat on that jump. That's why they say you should always look before you leap. No, I obviously didn't.
So far, this section has started well and was flowing nicely. I found this lower section was a bit faster and a bit more engaging than the top half of the trail. Because it's faster, it seems to flow a lot better than the upper section, and I really like that. It was nice to see a couple more jumps to play on this last part too. And just when I thought the trail was over, I was hit with a few nice corners and another steep section just before the end.
Oh, that was a bit of a crap berm at the end there. So that was my first run down the Powerline Trail. Actually, yeah, it was pretty good. It was better than I thought, actually. With all the recent weather, it was a bit sloppy in that middle bit, and I think a lot of the berms haven't been looked after for a long time. Same with the jumps, but it was great to see jumps like that on there. I overshot that first one massively, that first big one, and there was a little one after the berm that I completely missed. But good fun. I'm looking forward to hitting that again.
Dropping back into the main Powerline trail, I didn't get far before something caught my eye. There was a sign for Article 50, the Natural Black Trail.
So I've just found this sign that says Black Trail, but I'm not sure if it looks in there. It says it's natural, but I mean, that's pretty natural. Let's give it a try anyway. Worst comes to worst, I've just found one of the other off-piste lines, so let's see what we've got in here. It's going to be pretty hard to see the trail.
I love a good natural trail, so I'm excited to see what this one has in store. As I mentioned earlier, when riding a trail blind for the first time, especially when you can't really see where the trail goes, it's worth not going full speed.
There we go.
As I rode, I just about managed to pick out a couple of berms through the leaves and link them together into what looked like a trail. Pleasingly, it was relatively dry at the top despite the bad weather. I really enjoy this type of natural riding, where you can feel the ground and you have natural features like roots and rocks to play with. You sometimes have to work hard to pick the best line, or on days like this even find the line, but that's just the next level up from riding fully man-made trails.
Ooh, that came up on me fast. So hard to see the trail with all the leaves.
At this point, I hoped I was on the right line, and I've got no idea of the terrain that I'm riding over. I was pretty much just holding on and enjoying the ride. I love the feeling of whizzing through the woods, calculating the best line through the trees and looking out for obstacles. This is my type of riding. Down in this lower part of the forest, things started to get a bit wetter. This means that berms became puddles of mud and leaves got a bit slippery. One of the drawbacks of natural trails is that you can't really ride them in the winter, they just get trashed. Once you cross this small river, the Black Trail runs parallel to the main Powerline trail. They join up again just before the end of the first section.
Oh, here we go, we're back on the actual trail now. Well, that was a good little detour. Had no idea where I was going.
Although I've shown you the two marked trails, there are plenty of other lines to explore here. Because of today's wet and muddy conditions, it wasn't worth filming the rest of the trails here because they were just a slop fest, so it's worth coming and finding them for yourself. So, some of the good and bad points about Chopwell Woods. Firstly, yes, it's small. You can have a couple of good fun hours here, but it's not an all-day location. From the few trails I rode, it's on the easier end of the grade, especially Powerline and Article 50, so don't come expecting it to be Bike Park Wales. Also, some of the features do seem a bit unloved here, and some of the berms and jumps definitely need a bit of reshaping, not to mention replacing the missing signs.
I guess I'm going this way. Okay, slightly lost. I'm assuming it keeps going downhill.
So there are also plenty of good points about Chopwell Wood. As I mentioned earlier, it's conveniently close to Newcastle city centre. The parking here is also free, which is a huge bonus. The trails here are a fair length and they do have some features on there to keep you moving. The next trail centre is over an hour away, so if you're looking for a quick evening ride, then this place is perfect. So my advice for Chopwell Woods is to take it for what it is. It's a small local set of trails that are good fun for an hour or so. And with that, I'm off to explore some new trails. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.